What's good, y'all? So, on this episode of Real Talk with Real, I am talking forgiveness. And it can be very difficult to forgive, especially when you are still feeling, but forgiveness is for you. And we are going to talk about it. So, without further ado, let's get into it. What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk with Rel. And today I'm going to be talking about forgiveness. Forgiveness can be very difficult to do, especially because you will never forget how you felt. You will never forget what happened. And that can be one of the hardest things when it comes to forgiving someone. It's like, how am I supposed to forgive when I can vividly remember everything that's happened? How am I supposed to forgive when, if I think about this situation for too long, all the emotions that I felt the day it happened, they come back? How am I supposed to forgive? And I looked up the definition of forgive or forgiveness, and it said to no longer have animosity towards someone, to no longer have animosity. And just based off of that definition, a lot of us, myself included, have not truly forgiven someone. If you are still harboring those feelings of hatred, of anger, of animosity, you have not truly forgiven someone. And what I've learned is, you can forgive someone and still be hurt. You can forgive someone and still assert your boundaries. You can forgive someone and not allow them access to you. Forgiving doesn't mean that you are dismissing. Forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness ain't got nothing to do with the other person. We like to make it about the other person. Forgiveness is not about the other person. Forgiveness is about you. Because if you continue to hold on to those feelings, you harbor that negativity, that hatred, that resentment, all it's going to do is fester inside of you. And it's going to grow and it's going to spread like a cancer. And you can end up hurting someone who has done nothing to you, someone who loves you, someone who cares about you, someone who's just trying to be there for you, and you hurt them because you are now living with those feelings of unforgiveness. And don't get me wrong, again, things hurt and it takes so much time to, get over things. And they have the saying forgive or forget, but let's be honest, who's forgetting? Who's forgetting? No one, right? You're always going to remember. You're always going to remember. But it's what you do afterward that matters. And that can be very, 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 very difficult. Sometimes all it takes is a song or something that someone says or a scent, or you see something on a TV show and a movie, and all of a sudden you have just remembered what happened, and now all these emotions are coming back, and you're just like, oh my God, here we go again. I thought I was over this. Like, this happened how long ago? And here I am again, feeling these feelings over and over again. All these emotions that I felt before, they are coming back. They are coming back. And it's really in those moments that you just kind of have to sit with yourself, sit with your emotions, think about everything that's happening, and you have to work through it. And for me, one of the hardest things for me to do was to forgive my father. So me and my father do not have a relationship. We've never had a relationship, and I told myself that I was cool. I was fine. I turned out great. I wasn't even affected by it. Like, I'm good. I was not. I was not good. And I did not realize how much anger and resentment I was holding on to. Now that I am an adult, I'm married with children. My father has reached out. He says, that he wants a relationship. He wants things to get better. And there was a part of me that was like, no, I don't want to. Like, he would call and I would just stare at the phone. I would just let it ring. He would text me. I wouldn't even like respond because I'm like, what is even the point? You know what I'm saying? And I think the part that what really got me was, I think it was this year on my birthday. He forgot my birthday. Yeah, I completely forgot. Usually he's like one of the last people to text me on my birthday, and I expect that. But like this year, like no, there was no text, there was no nothing. Nothing. And he called me the next day, and the only reason he called me was because my mom told him, like, hey, did you forget something? Did you forget your daughter's birthday? That's why he called. And honestly, after that, there was a part of me that was like, I am absolutely done with him. Like, what is the point in even trying? There is no point. Like, I have tried, nothing has worked. I'm over it. I'm over it. And it wasn't until I had a conversation with my husband and then I had talked to my sister and everything, and I realized that I was still holding on to unforgiveness. And in order for me to move forward, I had to let go of that unforgiveness. I had to forgive him. And I realized that, sometimes you're not going to get the apology you want. You're not going to get the closure that you want. You're not going to get the explanation that you want. Sometimes you're not going to have that person come and tell you, yes, I did this wrong. Yes, I made you feel this way. Yes, this is what happened. Sometimes that's not going to happen. It's not. But if you continue to hold on to those feelings of unforgiveness, it is only going to make things worse. And I didn't realize that's what's happening. I have my stepfather in my life. I don't even call him my stepfather. I call him my dad because that is my dad. Um, there were even times where, he treated me how I wanted my father to. And it was very weird. Like, he would check in on me and, text me and call me and things like this. He was like, oh, yeah, I want us to get together. I want us to hang out. And I was like, why? Like, that's weird. Why? Because I never had that. And I realized that I could end up affecting my relationship with him based off of something that my father did. I'm still holding on to hurt from what my father did, and now that is affecting me from having a good relationship with somebody else. And, I thank God every day for my dad because he is absolutely amazing. Like I said, this man checks on me. He's always there for me. I can talk to him about anything. And God truly did bless me with him because like I said, I didn't have that relationship with my father. And, there was a part of me that was like, you know what? Why do I need to rekindle this relationship with him? I already have someone. Like, the role has been filled. We're good. We're good. But then I was like, you know what? No. Forgiveness is good. Forgiveness is necessary because again, I may not get the apology that I wanted. I may not get this long winded explanation, but at the end of the day, forgiveness is for me. If I continue to hold on to these feelings, it's not going to do any good to me. It's not. And I finally got to a place where I was like, you know what? I do forgive him. I don't know what he was going through. I don't know why, we don't have a relationship. I don't know why he treated me the way that he did. I don't know why he did some of the things that he did, and I may never understand. But I forgive him. I do. But I also have boundaries, and I can also set those boundaries. So, yes, he may be like, you know what? I want things to change. I want to start a relationship, and I'm cool with that. But if at any point I, understand that it's not going to work or that, maybe things just aren't going to be the way that, he wants them to be, then that is what it will be. But to move forward and to forgive him was one of the biggest things that I have ever done. And it was like such a weight was lifted off of my shoulders because I was perfectly content with ignoring phone calls, ignoring text messages, and not talking to him for the rest of my life. For the rest of his life, I was perfectly okay with that. Or so I told myself. But yeah, to me, I was like, okay, cool. It is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, I had to do some sort of soul searching. And it wasn't actually until a conversation that me and my husband had, because my husband keep it 100 with me. That's one of the things I love about him. Ready to eat for everyone. He gonna keep it 100. He shared with me, he was like, you know what? A lot of the things that you get on your father for doing, or you say that you don't like, you've done the same things. He was like, so either you need to look in the mirror and change some things, or you need to lighten up off him. Actually, you like how can you sit here and be upset for somebody for doing something and you do some of the same things? And then I had to sit there and I had to do some self work, some self evaluation. I was like, you know what? He is absolutely right. There were some things that I got so upset at my father for doing. Oh, he's selfish, and I told him how I felt, and he's denying it. And he's saying that that's not how it is, and he doesn't do this, and he doesn't do that. And then when I looked back on it, there were some times where I literally was doing the exact same thing. Wow. Crazy. Crazy. It's absolutely hilarious how you feel when somebody pull you on you. It's real different when that shoe is on the other foot, when you're on the receiving end. Then you start to see things clearly. And it shouldn't be like that, but sometimes that's what it takes. And after that happened, I was like, you know what? He is absolutely correct. I can't be upset at somebody for doing something when I am doing the exact same thing. I am over here upset, trying to be unforgiving, trying to be petty, not answering messages and not answering calls. And I'm like, nope, I'm fine. I'm good. It's like, how can I do that? How? And so now I am working on myself, because we're all a work in progress. Like, self work never stops. You always gonna be working on yourself. And sometimes it takes a situation for you to realize that you need to put in a little more work in certain areas. And that's exactly what happened. I realized that I need to put in work in some more areas. But I'm very thankful that I am now in a place where I was able to forgive him. Um, I didn't hate him or anything like that. I was just very upset. I was just done. I was just over it. And like I said, we may never have the relationship that I want us to have, or that I wanted us to have, that he may want us to have. But on my end, I'm good. I have forgiven him. Truly, I'm not upset anymore. I have released, I have truly released those feelings that were holding me down. And I say all this to say, sometimes people will hurt us. Sometimes people will do things to us. Sometimes hurt people, and they don't even do it intentionally. It just happens. And I'm not saying it's okay, but sometimes it happens. But in order for you to continue to grow and be the best version of yourself, in order for you to truly have peace, there are some times where it's not worth it. You just have to let it go. You have to forgive, and you have to move on. Because again, you might not get that apology, you might not get that closure, you're not going to get that long-winded speech or letter or text message where someone's just pouring out their heart and begging for your forgiveness. So you're not going to get that. But the moment you decide to let go of that hatred, to let go of that anger, to let go of that resentment, you will feel peace. There will be such a burden that is lifted from you. You will feel weightless, and you will finally be able to move forward with your life. Move forward and go where you're supposed to go and do what you're supposed to do. Because, like I said before, you're over here harboring unforgiveness. Meanwhile, this person is over here living their best life, not even thinking about anything that has happened, just going on about their day beautifully. And here you are, sitting here, angry, sad, depressed, everything in between over something that has happened. And again, it can be very difficult, especially when you've been hurt. But in order for you to truly free yourself, in order for you to truly move forward, you got to sit with yourself. You need to assess those feelings, and you need to release it. And you have to understand, again, they don't need to be in your life for them to forgive you. I forgive you, but we don't need to talk. I forgive you, but you will not overstep my boundaries again. And release it, let it go, and let it be what it is. And that's why forgiveness is so important. You don't want to sit here and do harm to yourself because you're harboring those emotions, or do harm to somebody else because you are harboring those emotions. Forgiveness is freedom. Forgiveness is peace. So although the situation might not be the best, although the situation might still hurt, you might still cry over it, you might still get angry, feel it, release it, so that you can be at peace. Because that is the ultimate end goal. That is the ultimate goal of forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean you gonna forget. Forgiveness does not mean that you're giving the past. Forgiveness is freedom, and forgiveness is for you. So I don't know what you've been through. I don't know what situation has happened. I don't know who did what to you, but I do know that it is time for you to find peace. It is time for you to let those things be what they will be so that you can live the life that you were meant to live. Okay? So forgive. Breathe, stretch, shake, let it go. All right? Forgive y'all. That is my message for today. Forgive. Peace, love, and happiness, y'all.